If you could go back to the very first day of Hamblin Bread, what would you tell yourself?
I think I'd just say, don't worry, it'll be okay.
Is there a small moment in your day that always makes you smile?
The coffee.
So although I'm from Oxford, this isn't like the area that I grew up in, but by the time we decided to move back to Oxford, my brother was living here and he had businesses here that were quite well established. We kind of knew that this would be a good area for the kind of thing that we wanted to do.
I've been into making bread since I was a very young child, and I've wanted to be a baker probably since I was a teenager.
And in fact, when she was at university, she went to university here in Oxford, when she had her careers interview, she told the careers advisor that she wanted to be a baker, and he was like, literally no one has ever said that. You know, it's not the normal path when you graduate from Oxford. We've got a couple actually. We've got for me, you know, I'd come to really, really love the food world and be very passionate about it. And what I really wanted to do after my previous experience was to do something where the focus was just 100% on quality, like no compromises at all. Like if we're going to do something, we want to get the best ingredients that we can. So for me, it was really exciting to think, we're going to hopefully have this amazing bread. You know, I do think it's amazing bread, obviously I'm biased, but I don't make it, so I feel like I can say that.
What did you just do to that? Just press the red button?
To some people, it might seem like a very repetitive job because you're literally doing the same movements, the same actions, like hundreds of times a day, every day. But for me, it never gets boring because even though you just have 3 ingredients, like within that there's so much scope for variation and so many variables that it's never the same. Even after like 10 years, it's never the same.
Keep those 2 shells where they are, because where this wall is like that.
In nearly all the bakery's history, I would be opening the shop every day, setting everything up, serving customers, cleaning up at the end, as well as making sure the till's correct. You have an online shop, making sure that's all set up properly, all of the right stock levels are there, liaising with wholesale customers, and then doing the bookkeeping as well. More recently, as we've kind of grown a little bit and we have more staff, I still do those things, but I have also been helping to get this new shop off the ground. And then, you know, we've got a young child now as well, so like a fair amount of my time is devoted to childcare.
If I'm arriving to bake the bread, I come in, I turn on all the machinery, my oven is preheated, which is very nice, and then I make a coffee. Then I start taking the dough that I've made the day before and kind of baking it off. So I've got 4 ovens, filling my 4 ovens, and then there'll be other jobs, most important of which is to refresh or feed my sourdough starter and get that ready for the dough shift, which starts later on in the morning. I'll also be baking off some sweet things like cookies and little cakes and things like that. And then the dough shift will come in a bit later, so around kind of 7 or 7:30, and they will then start mixing the dough for the following day's bake.
It's got lots of freshness and acidity as well. Really good. I just couldn't have imagined how nice it would be, how enriching it would be, how rewarding it would be to get to know people in the way that you do when you're a bakery, because there's a kind of everyday quality to it. So you see people every week. Some people you see multiple times a week. You see people bringing their baby in for the first time. The first place they come is the bakery. You hear about people's ups and downs, bereavements, successes, big plans. You see kids grow up. You see people move in and move out of the area.
I think the biggest compliment is kind of how people see us as part of the community and how involved we get in people's lives and how invested they are in us and vice versa.